Assalamualaikum and hi Abitu. Today our group will present about casting workshop, which is sand casting and lost form casting. Before we go through the presentation, I will introduce my group members. First of all, it is myself, Muhammad Fakrul Hadi bin Azmi, AA 201436. Next we have Muhammad Aiman Hakimi bin Muhammad Jamil, AA 211046. Next Muhammad Ani Afkar bin Yusran, AA 211363. And lastly we have Muhammad Irfan bin Muhammad Zamani, AA 212402. Now I will present about the objective for sand casting. First of all, the objective is to fabricate a mold for casting cavity based on the given pattern assembly. Next, it is to melt a given metal and adjusting any relevant chemical alteration. And finally, we have to pour molten metal, let it solidifies inside cavity and observation on the product quality. I'll pass the presentation to our next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Aiman Hakimi bin Muhammad Jamil. We continue about the additional theory. In sand casting, molten metal is poured into a expandable sand cavity by gravity of force, where it solidifies to form the shape. The metal heated to certain temperature to melt and sometimes treated to modify to chemical composition to achieve the required material properties. Then the molten metal is poured into a mold that has the desired shape, cavity to cools down and solidifies. Okay.
My name is Muhammad Irfan and I will talk about procedure. Firstly, we must choose product model pattern that we want. Second, we have to prepare green sand to mix the green sand with clay and water with Retire 731. Third, we must pour some parting powder on the pattern before pouring green sand mixture. Next, we have to sieve the green sand mixture before it fill up the flux. 6. Pack the pattern into sand mold and repeat the same step for the other side of the mold. 7. Make pouring resin channel to the out of the mold using spruce. Next, we also have to remove the pattern model from the flask. The next step, remove the spruce slowly from the mold. Next, clean the sand in the design on the mold using fireplace billows. Then, we have to pour molten metal into the mold to allow the metal to cool down. Lastly, we have to break the mold to remove casting and separate getting system. Thank you.
So Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Muhammad Ani Afkar bin Yusran. So next, I would like to continue our presentation by presenting about the observation of the experiment. So based on our final mold shape, we can see some crack and hole on the end of the design. The whole of the design was not clearly shaped by the mold. Moving up to our final product, some overflowing metal can be seen at the side of the design. The hole, which is part of the design, was also blocked by molten metal. So that's all from me. Thank you. Okay, for the last, our presentation is about conclusion of the experiment. That sand casting is one of the most used process in manufacturing. Its economic viability, technology, simplicity, and overall naturalness make obvious reasons of its popularity. However, it is not the silver bullet of manufacturing. The overhead, mediocre quality of casting, and the potential hazard of metal casting are some of the reasons why it isn't so in our product. Okay, thank you. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are from section 3. We present to you about loss form. Okay. I will continue about the objective. First thing first is objective of loss form casting is to create solid metal part from molten metal. The first thing. The second thing is through procedure, high volume of complex automotive component. And lastly, of objective in this workshop or loss form is to give the student new knowledge and experience about the loss form casting. Okay, next.
So Assalamualaikum. So my name is Muhammad Afka Birsran. So next, I would like to continue our presentation by presenting about additional theory of foam casting. So, lost foam casting is a unique casting method in which ceramic coated polymetric foams are used as the pattern. Generally, loose silica is used as the mold material. The presence of the foam pattern in the mold until the moment of casting is the most crucial feature that distinguishes the method from other casting techniques, and therefore the technique is also referred to as fire full mold casting. Although the method employs sand as a molding material, it has very different features that conventional sand casting method. So that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Muhammad Irfan and I will talk about the procedure. Firstly, we have to prepare the model product from polystyrene. Second, we have to join the getting system of polystyrene model using glue and let them dry. Third, put the polystyrene model into the flux and pack the pattern with silica sand. Next, we have to pour molten metal into the mold through the sprue. Fifth, we have to allow the metal cool down and solidify. Lastly, we have to remove the getting system part to get our product. Now, I will talk about our observation on our product. The reason for our observation during the model filling has been recorded. This includes some data, including gas gap length, foam decomposition product, metal front, mold filling time, cost of iron and steel, and foam metal interface response. The lost foam pattern primarily decomposes into liquid polystyrene in aluminium casting, as opposed to cast iron or steel, where it mostly escapes from the mold as gases. Finally, we see that this method has more gas gaps than the casting of sand technique does.
Alright, now I will continue the presentation by presenting the conclusion for lost form casting. For the conclusion, we investigated effect of this process of parameters such as the melting treatment, dead packing, material and density model of the foam on porosity in lost foam casting of aluminium alloy. We also found that highest density at the top of bar, while that the density was lower or middle part of the mid-low segment in upgated casting, the aluminium bar. It is a source of the pole that can be divided into two factors, that is turbulence in a flow of molten metal and entraining gas pattern, because the pattern of the pyrolysis of polystyrene foam during pouring in the lost foam casting. That's all from us. Thank you.